bite off more than you can? Did you bite off more than you can? Do you believe what I say?
Dizziness for me is a state of trying to center oneself in a world of confusion.
It's a state of uncertainty, I would say, of losing control.
Dizziness is a symptom, possibly physiological, possibly social, possibly economic, political, historical.
Thought that the keeper of the house was the devil, in the appearance of a man covered with bells.
Iliggocene comes from the Greek, which means vertigo or dizziness. Over the years, we realized that people connect more and more socio-political contexts with it. And the first attempt to frame that and look deeper into that was during the pandemic, when Sergio Edelsztein, Leonhard, Grond, and I created this podcast on certain groundlessness.
Because we are coming from the position of the podcast, of conversations, of a very large number of people we were talking with, we are in contact with philosophers, with writers, with practitioners in many ways, architects, etc. So as a process, it was very interesting for us to look for the works, to look for artists or writers or thinkers that deal constantly with dizziness, but others that they just live modern life as we do, and therefore they are dealing with dizziness in one way or another.
Dizziness, what we learned from our research, is contagious, which is very fascinating because this can help to bring people in, but it's also dangerous because it can be exploited.
It's a good possibility of definition of our time. We found ourselves in a state of polycrisis the whole time, every day, I would say.
I would say that we live in a time that lacks sensuality. I mean our senses, and I mean our sensorial relationship to the environment, to ourselves, to others, to other sentient beings.
I think we're all living in individual worlds. We're living in targeted worlds where we're being counted and quantified and marketed to. And the struggle is to make our way through the dizziness that's created as a form of social control in order to reconnect with the natural, mature, human, dignified, empathic sides of ourselves as humans.
When we started out looking at dizziness, we soon realized there is so much that we need to learn philosophically, neuroscientifically, writings of cultural science. It's emotion and a phenomenon that is unpredictable. So you do not know where you will land if you're exposed to an existential kind of dizziness, as a society and as an individual.
We started to think about togetherness in this very state of dizziness. Collaboration is not about having one idea, it's about having many ideas. And in such a complex topic like dizziness, you need many different perspectives on it to understand it, because it's a volatile moment. So it's a blink of a second, and it will change your whole life, or it can change your whole life.
And we build actually a program of performances, of lectures. We have one project, and they are all participants, equally participants. And it includes all the people that gave us text for the design of the show, that are participating in the lectures. This is a very important premise of the show.
Project to turn this place across the bridge to nowhere to a great fine resort, unlike anything ever seen before in Dominique.
I think every one of us has or experienced states of dizziness in their lives. And to relate to their own experience and to be aware of what you experienced, you might be able to also to experience or to look at the artworks in a different way when you try to relate to it.
You see the works and you read the text and you don't read the text because some of them you cannot read or parts of them you cannot read. You are measuring yourself constantly, how far I go, what an effort I do. Same with the works, how far I go to try to understand what kind of effort I am doing in getting into this work, or I just pass by. So I think this idea of looking at an exhibition that stresses as much the gap between the works as the works themselves is something that I like very much, and I think it's really coming together very nicely in this show.